getting off the freeway on to Lakewood, and then this is Lakewood 19. It does look like, I'm wondering if that dark SUV behind might be law enforcement, not positive, but you do see now southbound on Lakewood here, getting right up behind people. And that's the thing about these chases. They're going fast enough that they really close that gap between somebody in front of them that could startle a driver just who is
What's
on
happening?
a regular commute.
Right. And he is driving into the airport area near Long Beach Airport.
What's happening, people?
That could pose a problem.
Whoa!
for our
But the pit maneuver, that white Dodge
helicopter
Charger, not even a police
at this
officer.
time.
Have we ever seen a suspect try and pit
he is not
someone else?
speeding at super high rates, but
That
he
was
is
almost an
definitely
unintentional
driving
pit.
erratically. Now he's stopped.
Well, that's some of the most
Well,
dangerous driving that I've
as we
seen.
welcome in a
Almost
new
hit the
audience
van.
here. Boogity, boogity, boogity!
Across 2 or 3 lanes of traffic.
Let's go chasing
And
here
now
on a
he's
police
in his
chase
left turn lane,
replay,
and
which
we're
occurred
waiting
just
to
a
see
little
what
bit
he's
earlier
doing. It
today.
looks
This
as if he's
is
getting himself
a replay of a
moved
previous
and
chase, which I
moved.
missed because I was obviously in the middle of doing my Sirius XM show, but I have not watched this chase. This is going to be live to tape. And if you happen to miss this from earlier, hopefully it is for you as well. I have no clue how this ends, how long it goes, even though I do need to be out of here by 40. I need to be out of here in 45 minutes for my Bleacher Report show. So hopefully this chase ends relatively soon. Some damage to the front left quarter panel. Spoilers in the chat will result in ultimate ban if you are someone who knows the end to this chase. Whether you are right or wrong or just trolling, you will be banned in perpetuity. So don't do it unless you want to be banned. If you want to be banned, go ahead.
Alhambra PD for a criminal
Yes.
threat.
Criminal threat is the want. Damage to the front right quarter panel. Silver Dodge Charger getting off the 405. All sorts of wide turns here.
One person sliding into the middle lane, and then the suspect vehicle.
Thank you. The chat says we never watch a chase without you because you know I'm going to replay it live later. The reason why if I don't do it live is because I'm not able to do it at that very moment for whatever reason. But I will not watch it, and then I'll watch it back with you guys. So if it pains you and you enjoy watching birds in the air specifically, you will need to just not watch it live. There's a sheriff's department helicopter overhead, green and yellow, by the way. You just wait, I'll eventually replay it, and then that's wrong side of the road, white Dodge Charger.
Oncoming traffic.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Car flying perpendiculars. We're wrong side of the road. We're near LAX off the 405 right now.
In danger and at risk for harm. This is it's alarming every time we see it. Every time we see it, and there are people on the road. We're seeing a lot of cars this morning.
Well, this person seems to be just
Haircut,
hunting,
yes.
the
Haircut,
spot that has no,
haircut for a very
pictures,
important
because that turn
interview
right there was a
on
right turn,
Thursday. I
and
told
then
some of
into
you
an
who the
intersection
interview is
against the
with.
light. So that person that crossed through that intersection
Not gonna reveal
had
it
no
here,
reason to believe
unfortunately,
this
but
person would
some
be
of you
pulling in
might
front
know.
of them, and that's
Gotta
what
be
ended
looking
up
good
happening,
for
and
it.
it was a near broadside. So center divider.
It was either that or I'd go with the frat look with the flow out of my hat, and I can't do that if I'm going to be on camera. So
at Cherry Avenue, but the person again, if you say you'd rather than be somewhere,
what am I talking about? This time it's a Dodge Charger. Doesn't mean the next time it will be. That's a Dodge Charger. Can someone ask our Nightbot? We have artificial intelligence that scans the screen and it reveals the type of vehicle that this is involved in the chase. And if I'm not mistaken, that's a Dodge Charger. What does the AI say?
Is wanted for a criminal threat in Linwood.
Okay, the Nightbot says that's a Dodge Charger. So, unfortunately, you're just wrong, sir or ma'am. This is a Dodge Charger.
We don't know the details of that
Do you not know what Dodge
situation.
Chargers look
It
like?
could have
It's
been
an
a
older
domestic
version, but
violence situation.
we clearly know cars.
But
It's not my
we're
fault it's
sure
always a
at this
Dodge
point,
Charger
still
involved in these
gathering some
chases.
information, but right now you're looking at live pictures from Air 7, CHP pursuit underway. This is a northbound 405
God in the
freeway.
chat says, Happy
It's
New
on
Year,
the
fam.
710
Glad I can make
freeway,
it
got
into
off,
the chat today. I've been
got
busy
off
multitasking.
91,
Join the
got
club.
on
There's a
the
reason why
710.
this
He
is
was on
a
the 405
replay.
in the opposite direction,
Because
heading
none of us watching
southbound
this were able
just
to
a
watch it
little bit
live.
ago, and now he's on
But we're on the 405 southbound.
northbound, although
This was
they
about
just changed the
this was
graphics
about
name.
2 hours
This is
ago.
southbound.
Artificial and yeah, AI would never lie.
It could be that the helicopter just moved across, and so maybe our mapping got us a little
Yeah, it
better.
keeps changing.
But it could be We
It
are
is
northbound.
It is
And I was going to say, generally, that's kind of what happens. There's the 405 north sign.
Big
They'll drive
interchange
in a
here
certain
around
place,
LAX.
and
You
then
have the
they'll realize, well, I
105,
know
you
where
have the
I'm
10,
going,
you have the
and quite literally go turn around
405.
and
This
go back
is
to where they're more
as
familiar.
busy as
So
it
this
gets, but this is the
person,
right time
is
of
now
day to
headed
be on the
northbound
405. That's when I would
405.
always
Again,
commute down
the
to
map
Playa
changed
Vista when
a
I was
little
working
bit
at
there
Fox
where
Sports.
It's based off of where the helicopter is at some
I
point.
would take the
Now you've got
405
crossover into
southbound at
carpool
exactly
lane,
like 11
and a
o'clock,
little
and
bit
it
of a
was
wobble there.
clear
Speeds
sailing every
reaching
other day.
upwards of 90
Every other
miles an
hour,
and again,
not clear
those
sailing,
are
but I get down
possible
there so fast.
because of the limited number of people that we have. Scott Reif is in Air 7, and he has been following that. So we now have 2 helicopters over this. It'll help us when it comes to fuel. But Scott, we've seen this person.
Scott
make some
Reif on
really
the call, a
aggressive,
little early
dangerous
for Chris
moves
Christie and
off the
company.
freeway,
I'd say
and now we're
Chris,
seeing some of those
Eliana,
on the
Gil,
freeway.
Desmond, they start around like 3, 4 o'clock. Be my
Picked
guess.
this up now, the 405 northbound, just about ready to cross the 710.
Scott Reif did
We're in
the
Long Beach area,
methamphetamine
we're traveling up into Carson.
chase
We do see
super
the
early in
vehicle
the morning.
Swerving in and out of lanes. I know you saw him with some close calls down off Lakewood Boulevard, headed towards Seal Beach. As you mentioned earlier, wanted for a criminal threat out of Alhambra. We believe it started in that area. We first picked it up on the 5 freeway around Florence, and then it was on the 710 southbound at high rates of speed up to at least 80 miles an hour, maybe 100 at one point in time. At this point in time, the speeds are much lower than that, but you can see the suspects here sort of swerving in and out of traffic for no reason.
If I was a
There's
Night
no
Sun
vehicle in
operator,
front of them.
I would never fall
Get
asleep
around at
during a
that point in
chase,
time, and
unlike
they're in
Stu
tracking
Mundow.
mode right now. They have a sheriff's helicopter overhead, but we don't see any
I
patrol cars
kid, I
behind the
kid.
vehicle. It's very difficult
Copy.
to tell. We'll push in right here as much as we can, Marcel, and give ourselves a little bit of an idea. But when
Still some
a
damage to
vehicle
that
has
front
the
left.
windows blacked out like that,
Let's go
it's
chasing
extremely
Indeed
difficult
2-pack.
to
I
tell
appreciate
how many
everyone
people
who has
may be on
subscribed to
board.
the channel
We don't
today.
know if it's a
Jay
man or
Rich,
woman. We do understand there's front
Big
end
Boggs
damage.
2.
Looks a little bit like that on the left front. It was described to us as
Marpua.
major front end damage, so maybe we get a little further ahead of it. We'll be able to see that.
S
It's
Case
unclear if that happened
DG,
during the
all you
pursuit,
guys who
maybe in the
continue to
Alhambra
resubscribe
area,
to
or
the
vehicle
channel.
had that before they actually picked it up.
You keep subbing, we
So
keep
a lot of
streaming.
unknowns
It's that
at this
simple.
point in time.
WMS,
One person, the
22
driver,
months
maybe
in
more
counting.
inside the vehicle. And
Danny
then
the
once,
Average.
once again, erratic
You
driving
name
and starting to speed up here. We're on the 405 northbound. We're coming up past Wilmington. We're headed up into the Carson area.
Scott, can you see what traffic looked like that far ahead? I mean, once you start getting up, further
Yeah,
up,
shout out to the
you might
YouTube
start
channel,
to see
whoever
a
you
little
are,
bit
you
congested.
anonymous
Right now, it's
angel
just wide open.
who continues to download
Yeah, I
these
can see it
streams
past
and
the
put them
110.
onto
It's smooth
YouTube so they
sailing
don't
from
get
there. I
deleted.
think once you get up around the South Bay Curve, it always starts to get a little tough around the bend once you make your way up past Crenshaw. I can't see that far out right now, but there's no traffic in front of
24
him right
months,
now. The volume is
alcoholic.
very light, and there's
Aquaholic,
no,
anon.
instruction for him to continue or her.
That's a
We don't
marriage?
know the sex of the individual and the suspect in this case, but
That's more than we've
there's
moved
gonna
in
be
together.
no flow of traffic.
It's
There's no
24
issue
months.
as far as
If
that's
you're not
concerned.
married after
We're just
24
coming up,
months
if you're familiar with this area with a Porsche
in a
has
full-time
racetrack
relationship,
with
that seems to be
Brentwood is
the breaking
on the
point,
405
24 months.
northbound, about a half
We're
mile
picking up
south
some
of the
serious
110
speed here,
freeway.
people, as
So
we
we're
are
doubling back on it.
swerving
110
across
south, yeah, there you
double
go.
white lines in the HOV lane.
Acceleration.
We're got to be doing like
Pretty
105
much
miles an hour
indecisive,
right now.
Driving erratically, it doesn't appear the individual really has any rhyme or reason as to where they're going and what they're doing. At this
Yeah,
point in time.
criminal threat is the want here.
Close
And
call
so
there.
I know you said that
Swerving,
they are
dangerous
monitoring this,
driving,
they're
reckless,
tracking
wrong side of the
so there
road
are no
earlier.
patrol vehicles,
You're on year 8.
detaining him at this time.
Congratulations to you.
He's gotta be aware
That
of
you've
the
been able to
helicopter
put off
stuff.
marriage for 8 years. You found
Well,
someone
there's a
that
patrol car right
is
there.
just,
It looks
oh,
like
okay, we are
GHP. They're
engaged
paying
here with some
attention to the
CHP.
vehicle.
CHP, not Sheriff's Department. 8 years of dating someone and not having to commit. You did something right. Good job. Look at this. Look at this driving. And look at the CHP attached at the bottom of your screen, lurking and still hitting these type of speeds to match the suspect.
See the patrol car behind them, and they just started to drive much more erratically, crossing lanes quicker and getting at higher rates of speed. Now, I believe this transition road is going to take them, take the suspect either to the 110 north or south, depending on how it splits off. The right lane should go to the northbound side, and it looks like this will all come through to the northbound 110. So
6
now
years,
we're on
but
the
we
Harbor
started
Freeway
in high
northbound,
school.
leaving the
Wow.
405, and
So
the
that's gonna
patrol
be
car
your-
is really getting up
yeah,
right
your high
behind
school
them now,
sweetheart,
and we'll
your-
see what time of erratic driving
It's the only
we see
girl
out of
you
the
probably ever
suspect.
dated.
If the suspect
Yeah, there's something
continues to
different
drive
about that. It
fast,
feels
then
like
they
an
go into tracking
inevitability,
mode
so you
once
can
again.
put it off
But
for
of
as
course,
long
they
as
have the
possible,
helicopter
right?
overhead.
Well, Scott, you could
More so
actually
if you're
see
dating
the
someone
vehicle
single at my
start to
age, they're
lean
very much in a
side
rush
side
to
when,
expedite your
that rate of
relationship
speed,
timeline for
you can't
biological
make those
reasons
sharp turns,
or
and not expect. So that's when you really start the wow
You know,
moment with the way
some
the
seem
person
to
was
want
driving,
to
but
lock something up as soon as possible.
Right when that person
You
began
got to
to
find
get
the right
aggressive, going
relationship
all
for
the way
you.
across 6 lanes of traffic.
That
That's
is
when
not
you
for me.
saw
I'm
the
a free
re-engagement
bird.
from CHP, and plus the person's wanted for a criminal threat, so they're not going to want to just let this person drive.
Yeah, they're going to want to evaluate how the suspect starts, the demeanor, and how they start to drive when they have the patrol car behind them. We did get some information that the suspect was throwing something out of the vehicle. Not certain what that might have been. We're just crossing over the 91 freeway, that flyover ramp, that carpool ramp.
We replay all missed chases. I don't know if this is a banger or not. That's the whole point. I don't want to be watching a chase that I know the result for.
Behind the suspect, and the suspect doesn't appear to be driving at too high a rate of speed.
Any chance of a Meghan Markle rebound? I'm open to it.
80, but we're not at that 100 mile an hour. SkyTrack, our tracker says 80 miles an hour right now. We're able to just view it real quick. Unfortunately, we can't actually transmit
Once upon a
at
time.
this point in time. But with a patrol car behind the suspect, and the suspect not driving extremely
Another world.
erratically and endangering people on the freeway, more than likely they'll stay in this mode. If the suspect starts driving 100,
Yeah, you got to figure it out, JMF Posey. Dating almost 12 years, and we have no interest in getting married. Because some people can be life partners without the legalities required of getting married. You know, it's a financial decision as much as a religious one and an emotional one. So some people think it's better for them to always have that separation possibility
And I
without
wonder, this is all just
legal
speculation,
or
but because
religious
the CHP,
ramifications.
We had heard that they were in tracking mode, and then we see this
I do,
patrol vehicle tailing you,
I am
wondering
jealous
if
of
this
that
vehicle
type
just
of
happened to
relationship because I
pass
like the
that
flexibility.
CHP patrol vehicle, and then you continue to tail him. I would imagine it's hard.
Your
to
line
get
about IG and she didn't take that picture
team
herself
of, CHP
lives in
patrol
my head
cars,
forever. What was that post regarding?
wherever this person is driving.
She didn't
to, and
take that
you
picture
can't just
herself.
mobilize
What was
all
I
to one
talking
area, they
about?
have to drive there.
I don't really
So
tweet
maybe
like
this
that
was sort of-
anymore.
He was there and is now able to follow him.
Yeah, I think if they have a preference, they'd love to have a patrol car behind the suspect vehicle because if the
Got
suspect
married
takes
'cause I
off on
thought
foot,
weddings
gets
were
off
cool.
on an off-ramp real quick,
Yeah,
they
do whatever you
have-
want.
You have resources right behind.
You can also have a
in order to
wedding
take
and not
that
be
suspect
married.
into
You
custody.
could have a
That's what
wedding
they'd like to
reception.
do, and like to
You
do
have a
without
celebration
incident. They
of
also don't wanna put,
celebration of
proceed
togetherness.
after or pursue after a suspect. If they start driving extremely erratically with the patrol car right behind them, we're seeing a higher rate of speed.
Is that
now.
a CHP
It seems
chopper?
clearer
No,
and easy moment ago
I'm sorry, I
we're
missed it
probably close to
before,
the
but
90s.
CHP choppers
And you
are
can check the
blue
vehicle
and
that's starting
white.
to speed up.
Green
It
and
looks like
yellow
we
is
have
sheriff's
speed tracker.
department.
So we're at
Black and
87
white is LAPD.
real-time speed tracking, and you can tell the suspect is driving pretty fast, but not swerving in and out of traffic. So I believe that if the suspect continues to drive like this, they'll leave the patrol car behind him. Now there's a second patrol car. Both of them are CHP, and then we have an LA County Sheriff's helicopter overhead.
It's the most LA shit. Yeah, I know. That's why I live in LA. Everyone else is single too. Thinking the same exact thing. That's why we all like living here, and everyone's so happy. Everybody's single and
In this circumstance, Scott,
living
he's
life.
going to have to make, or she, we still don't know the suspect gender, but this person is going to have to make some decisions fairly quickly because as this person starts to enter the downtown area, they're in that carpool lane, and then they may have to get on the 10. I mean, so they're going
It is
to
a
end
gut
up
shirt.
in some congestion
Guts.
just due to where they are now. And if you look at it, they're still, look at this move. Just
Man, we are
finding open
flying.
gas,
This angle
continuing to
doesn't
try to
really-
find openings regardless
Oh,
of
look at that
what's
swerve.
the
Ah!
proper way to get there.
there's gosh, there's a barrier there he almost side drafted into.
There's no doubt that the vehicle is going to run into some congestion northbound on the 110, up around the Santa Monica Freeway into downtown. I can't see that far. I'm just assuming
Manchester
that's the
Avenue
case
exit
based
there on the right
following
side of your
pace.
screen.
There are two patrol cars behind them. Believe
We
we're
all
going
have
on
taken this
Manchester
road.
right
How
now.
many times?
Speeds up above 80 miles
It's so
an hour,
funny to
probably
see the
close to
areas that you
90,
drive
and
every
there
day
really
and
are
just
no
there's
delays
always a
here
police
in
chase
that
going on.
Fast track. That's a fast track lane on the far left. But
Oh, he ran over. Oh, he ran over.
That's where he would have had to stay in the
Oh, the front right is crushed. That's why you can't hit those. Those aren't like cones. Those are divider little little pylons. Oh, the front right is crushed. He continues to swerve in and out of the HOV lane into lane number 1.
Up around Slauson, you get onto an area that's elevated, and then you're forced to stay in the carpool lane. But we're still a a mile and a half, 2 miles south of that. So it was interesting to see the suspect make that turn. And really, for
Oh,
no
the front
reason,
right has some
two patrol
serious
cars behind,
damage
but they
to it.
backed off.
Might be
So,
getting some
you know,
tire rub
there's
on that
some
quarter
hope that
panel.
There's a supervisor watching this, and they're really trying to figure out the best way to follow this suspect to get them into custody.
Front
without
right seems to be
without forcing
intact, but
this
I don't know for
individual
how much
to
longer,
drive
especially if
more
there's tire
erratically.
rub.
You can probably hear. See
It
the
does look like
suspect
it's going down now,
see the
though.
patrol
Yeah,
car.
I'm with you
But
now.
can tell
Look at the
once you get a little
aerodynamics of
more
that front
traffic, you're
right.
going to get a lot more here
It
when we
starts
come up
starting to
into
tilt a
downtown.
little bit, listing that
Suspect
side.
driving awfully erratically, and at those types of speeds, one quick move and the vehicle will overturn, and then you always hope that no innocent person out here gets hurt, because we've seen that so
Oh,
many
another hard swerve. And that was a drop off there.
Actually
You saw the
them
car
using
bounce a
the
little
double
bit.
lines as a lane almost to split.
The HOV
between
was
two
a little
vehicles.
elevated there. He's
And
putting some
again,
serious torque on
you-
this
you don't
Dodge
know when,
Charger.
but they just really continue to make these quick turns at 80, 90 miles an hour in
Is
traffic.
weaving in and out of lanes around cars, and you brought up a good point. As the closer he gets to downtown LA, it's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be
a
much
sheriff's
more
department,
congested,
yellow and green
more
helicopter
traffic,
overhead
they have
on-
to slow down,
look at that beautiful bird on the
completely
left side
to
of
a
your
halt.
screen.
Sometimes it depends on the time of day. 12
Yeah.
noon, there might not be as much as there is earlier in the day, but he's
it's
definitely
coming.
going to have.
Yeah,
some,
we're getting close to rims.
It's coming, Giovanna.
Yeah.
Right up here, right up here, not too far.
Big interchange coming up
ahead
here.
of us here, there's going to be a freeway that is stopped. That with 110 northbound is virtually going to be, for a moment, almost at a standstill. And that at that point,
Did I see the chase 2 days ago where the cops were right behind that thing and turned right? I think so.
Right lane, or the suspect
Not
stays
sure.
in the right lane. It looks like it continues. We'll have some very heavy traffic up ahead, and it's going to use the center divider there, trying to
Not
swerve
getting
to that
off.
4 point. And boy, another close call there. You can see very erratic driving. You have to gain some altitude. You're way
Well, he almost accelerates when he reaches.
Gotta gain some
problems.
altitude
In
in ABC7 News Chopper.
Will accelerate
Getting a little
into
low.
these spots, which is what makes it
Splitting the
so troubling and
defense here.
dangerous.
There we go. Well, here's that area I told you about where there's stopped traffic. It's like this for a bit up into downtown, and the patrol cars really have backed off. I see them. They're probably a quarter of a mile behind the vehicle now. I don't think they really want to pursue this vehicle, swerving in and out of traffic. I
Man,
feel
we're
that
really
they
tailgating.
may
There's another
believe that
bird.
it's
Look at
more
it. It's like
dangerous to
hovering
do
like a
that than to
wasp.
just let the helicopter follow.
We're
You see the
really,
helicopter,
really
there's a
lurking
helicopter.
behind this
And now the
XL Dodge
suspect has
Charger
gotten into
here.
that left lane, which is going to be a transition lane if he continues to stay in that
We are
lane.
getting
But
rather
now
close to
all of a sudden,
Downey,
the
aren't
center lane
we?
accelerating. This
I know
is where it
why.
really gets
Look at the
dangerous. These
speeds
types
here.
of
This is
speeds
like
around
standstill
vehicles that are moving that
traffic.
fast. One
That's an
small
interchange
move
to the
from it. So
10,
another
and I think this
driver
is to stay on the
seeing that
110.
suspect come up to them, and you've got a really bad accident.
Yeah, now you're on the shoulder, and nobody expects somebody to pass on the shoulder 50
All
to 60
roads
miles an hour
lead
faster than
to
traffic is
Downey.
going.
It's going to be
Here
tight.
comes another one.
Super tight.
God.
It'll be tight right here. There's going to be
Yes.
tight. There's really no center divider on this portion of the 110 freeway. You've got no center divider whatsoever.
Oh
You
my
can't
God,
get
could he
around.
swerve into
And so
oncoming
you can
traffic
tell
the other
right now
way in the
only way to get
110?
around is to
Please,
swerve in and out of
God, no.
traffic. There's no
Hitting the
right
gas
shoulder,
here
there's no
hard.
divider.
Will he stay
Now,
on the 110 or will he interchange? We're starting to veer right, and it looks like a 10 interchange coming up here or potential exit.
Did he get off there, Marcel?
No,
No, he's on the shoulder.
He's on the
Right
shoulder.
underneath the chopper, so
If he
probably can't
stays
see
on
him out the
shoulder,
window.
The suspect will be forced on to the Santa Monica freeway. There's
Yeah.
a stalled vehicle.
There's a,
there
oh God, there's a
right
parked
now.
Dodge Charger on the side of the road.
And if the suspect stays in the right lane, they will be forced
Not
on
helping
to
out that
continue
front
left.
right, which is taking on
If
some
he cuts
damage.
left right
Jabs
now,
to the
he'll stay
liver.
on the 110. But if he stays in the lane, or the suspect stays in the lane right there,
It is flailing in the wind. Hard to tell from that angle, but some damage there.
Santa Monica Freeway east or westbound, and it looks like the suspect is going to be on the Santa Monica Freeway west.
Okay, this is going to take us back towards the 405 now.
West Santa Monica is a pretty good drive through mid-city, it looks like.
Yeah, coming out of downtown. Look at all of this interchanges, people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different on ramps, off ramps there. It's a spider web down here in downtown LA. All of your options.
There's an off-ramp off of that transition road. We're right next to the convention center.
Okay, now guess what, people? We're in downtown
Los
LA.
Angeles.
Oh,
So
God.
now the calls are
This
coming
has
out to LAPD
Ejectocito
officers
written
where the
all
suspect
over
is
it.
on
Parking
Street,
deck.
or where the suspect
Pursuit
is,
buildings
and
in the
getting
way
units
as we
in
now
position. If they
merge
can get
into
in
traffic
position,
here in
and
downtown.
The suspect stays in one area. They can think about a spike strip or westbound.
This is the
on
best
Pico
place to
crossing
ditch a
underneath
vehicle by
the
far.
Santa Monica freeway
tough for
down,
the choppers to
suspect
stay
come out.
overhead.
Okay, there you go.
Tough for
A lot
ground
of
units
times
to
they'll
stay
see him
attached.
stop
A lot of
underneath
one-way
the,
streets down
overcrossing,
here
then
as
they make a
well.
run for it. I didn't see the vehicle come out, then I figured that was the case. So we're westbound on Pico. There's going to be congestion. Boy, look at that, almost into oncoming traffic.
Now wrong side of the road, pedestrian in the crosswalk. LA dot bus in the LA dot bus in the intersection.
We left there, and we're
Okay.
on Pico westbound. We're
Okay.
west of the 110 freeway.
Okay, okay.
And
That's
boy,
good
right
to
there, you just saw him go through a red light. Yeah, extremely dangerous.
Well, plus, again, we wanted to remind everybody, this is an extended broadcast here of Eyewitness News at 11 a.m. This person wanted by Alhambra PD for making criminal threats. Beyond that, we don't really know.
Ah, oh my God.
But we've seen this
Oh, I
vehicle
hate
drive
stop
into
signs that we
traffic like
barrel
right
through.
now.
I hate when there's cars parked and you approach an intersection like that. That's what drives me nuts.
Waiting on other people to let it
When
go by
when you
or
can
her,
sense my anxiety and
then off they
anticipation
go.
picking
So the
up,
high rate of speed on these
it's
surface
because
streets
they're
has been
they're at a
real
red
problem,
light
Scott,
at the
because this
intersection.
person
That's why they're
has shown
stopped,
some
and then
very
you're just
aggressive
barreling
driving
into
on
it.
the
Guess
freeways
what? There's
as
cars
well
coming
as
the other
the
way,
most
like
dangerous
this right
thing
here.
Here on the surface streets.
I'm surprised he's stopping at these intersections. This is the second intersection he stopped, showing some caution on his end, but because we've seen him driving very dangerously on these
Yeah.
freeways and other surface streets.
We just got some more information. Now, the sheriff's department believes that the suspect may have a weapon.
Oh,
And
now
so
he's
that sort of
he's
changes
armed
everything
too.
as
That's
well.
great.
We knew it was a criminal threat.
Now we're wrong side of the road, downtown LA, coming up against head-on traffic. Oh my God! Thank God we have a little
The suspect
middle ground
does
there.
Stop for red lights. It doesn't look like he's willing to just run through a red light and get into an accident.
Make a
We've seen
right
that
here at
before. Now
least.
we're making
Okay.
a northbound turn. Might be Vermont. I'm not sure. We'll have to check it on our
I mean, we
map
were just here
and,
last
see
night.
if this is Vermont northbound, Vermont or Normandy. We'll find out in just a moment. We'll hear the call. But hold it right here, Phil.
It's a good
It's
question.
Vermont
Does
north.
each red
It's
light run
northbound
or stop
Vermont.
sign run accumulate?
We do not.
Oh, people in the crosswalk. And look at that front left. We were talking about potential tire rub and it hanging like a hangnail. That was the damage from hitting that pylon at the HOV lane. And we need to zoom out here because I'm getting a little scared as we approach these intersections and we can't tell.
Pursuit or not, we saw some of the vehicle fall off there earlier.
Yeah, the bumper is pretty loose there.
Well, we saw that happen when he hit those
I mean, these
reflectors.
just still so
on
fast.
the freeway. A lot of that damage was caused there. But this is the problem where he's driving right now is you have a lot of pedestrian traffic. And whether he knows them or not, or she knows them or not, you have a lot of people walking around, and this person is not even close to obeying rule of law. So people who are pedestrians are not going to be looking at the person maybe
Oh
they should
God.
be. And then now you have
Wrong
the
side of the road at a
motorcyclists that
stopped
nearly hit by this
intersection. These
person.
people,
So this
man.
is where it's just
And
getting
we
really
can't
hairy.
tell what's in front of
And
them.
if
It
the
could
person
be
has a
wide
weapon,
open. We
don't
just
even
don't
if he
know.
stops, how that's going to play out.
Another right.
Yeah,
Wrong
no
side of the
question.
road.
No question about that. And now we're getting on
Weston
these little
Views,
two-lane
28 months
streets
and
here as we
counting.
travel through a
Appreciate
portion
you
of
resubscribing
Koreatown.
to the channel. That's
New
quite the
Hampshire,
streak.
but I don't
Much
think that- well,
appreciated.
Yeah, exactly. That's New Hampshire right there. And, you do get a lot of pedestrian crossings in this area, Philip, so it really does get extremely dangerous when the suspect is desperate like this and driving so erratically. Makes it difficult for us to follow
There's
these
intersection.
sometimes, as you can see also when we get in between.
Pedestrian in the
buildings,
intersection
the
who's looking
angles
back
and
right there.
such.
Now he's trying to
We
get
up on a
through
red
it
light, and at
with that
least the
front
suspect
left just
stopped.
hanging
It
around.
looks like that might be Wilshire Boulevard, but continued on New Hampshire. So at least the suspect is stopping in these intersections when it's a red light. That certainly, we've seen that before, and we know how dangerous that can be. But the erratic driving and the fact that somebody may not see the suspect at these speeds or someone out on the street makes it just so dangerous.
It's gonna be hard for us to keep following this.
Oh,
look at the speed. Very
Very
similar Dodge Charger right in front of him.
Why they would be doing that if they didn't possibly know he was coming or if they knew them, but who knows? We've seen that so many times in the past.
Harry
For
Horse
sure,
giving
but
out
we've also
subs, some
seen-
sub dubs in the
I've,
chat as people.
I'll call it waving. when
They won't be able to
somebody
hear
comes
this, but you
driving
gotta
up and
tell them they
doesn't
gotta
see me
connect their
as a
Amazon Private
pedestrian,
account if they
and,
wanna avoid the
so-
ads.
So it could have been.
They just
Oh,
They
yeah,
just
it
want-
might have been.
No, that's him right there.
Might have been that.
Isn't that
just
him
got
at-
out of the vehicle and ran into the apartment building.
Oh,
So
no.
the vehicle pursuit is over, it appears.
Oh,
And
no.
right now, the suspect, we believe so, right in that apartment building, if I'm not mistaken. 425 Arendo is the address.
Ejectocito.
So it's gonna be the
you know what?
apartment
I've seen
building
too
we
many
believe the
chases,
suspect ran
man.
into. Come around the corner here, there's a lot of people there, and I don't know, is that the vehicle right there?
Anytime that we go to downtown LA, there's the
Back a
vehicle.
little ways.
There's a lot of people around
Yeah,
it.
to that one.
No,
And we had
it's
front
could
end
be back
damage
a little
on the
bit.
other one. It
No,
is
it's
a
in the middle of the
similar
street.
car.
He dumped the vehicle and ejectocitoed, and there's no one in No
Okay,
units in
that's the
pursuit, so
one.
he's going to be in
Yeah,
whatever
you can see the
building
damage on the
he ran
front
into.
bumper.
Yeah.
And you guys
We were
saw
behind
them
the
jump
building,
out?
so no, I did not. We heard it on the radio. We were sort of we had a
33
building that was
months
a
done,
period at
Carl.
the
Oh
time.
my God,
That
33
apartment
months
building right
of
there is the home we
subscribing.
believe the suspect
That's
ran
crazy.
into. And so
You're
that's one of
right.
the
You got a
reasons,
kindergarten
you know,
child.
the-
All right, there's a
they can-
unit at the bottom of the
patrol cars would like
screen.
to be behind the suspect. When they do get out, they can
There's
get
a
on them
unit
so
at the
much
bottom of the
quicker. And you have
screen
the helicopter
that just
overhead.
rolled up.
They're down low. They're making tight left turns because the observer is on the left side, and they keep them in sight, and they make the radio calls to tell the other patrol cars exactly where the suspect went. Now, I'm assuming,
What is that?
since they're down low, they almost always get a
Okay,
good location.
here come the
of
officers.
suspect.
They're
And you
starting to
see that
run a
SUV
little
that
bit,
just pulled
as
out
if they.
there,
Oh,
the officers are running,
they got guns
past.
pointed at what appears to be a
That's
door
probably
or a
just an innocent
garage.
driver, right?
Probably just trying to exit the apartment, but
Right.
can't because of the vehicle
And
in
then you
front of them.
you wonder if the suspect knows this building.
There's some
because why
pools
would they
back there.
Stop in the middle of the street there. And
Right in the middle of
run
Koreatown.
inside?
Yeah, that's anybody's guess. We only know the suspect, it looks like, ran into that apartment building in the middle of your screen. And like I said, the helicopter overhead's making tight left orbits. They really get a good idea.
Man, they're in
whether or
formation
not the
already.
suspect runs through here and then goes into the backyard and tries to go to another
If you were in a
area.
commercial, you didn't
But
miss
right now,
much. He
it looks
just
like they're
ejecto-citoed
concentrating
and
effort
ran into
on
this
that,
building.
Apartment building right there. They believe the suspect is inside. We haven't seen him come out. There aren't too many areas to come out. In the back of that building, I can't tell right now if you can even go to the property behind it or if it's walled off.
It's my dream to have Wob say, in some places, that's a marriage to me.
It could be
Oh,
where the
in
suspect
regards-
lives. It
you'll
could
get
be
there
they
one
just
day.
thought it was a good place to make a run for it. It's impossible to figure it out. We understand they're believing now that he may be in the underground parking structure. So it appears
This feels
he ran into
inevitable.
the underground
Code
parking.
4.
Whether or not he's able to
Unless
get
he's
from
trying to
there up
Paul
to the
Walker
rest of
challenge.
the units or not is
It's gonna be
unclear.
tough to Paul Walker
You can
challenge
see
when
the
they've got all
units
these
are
units
responding. They'll set up a perimeter and
down the
they'll
street
continue
in
to
front
look
of
for
the
him. So
exit.
Alhambra PD has actually responded. They were probably listening to this the whole time because it sounds like it's
10
their
years
keeper,
worth of chases. That takes you
wanting
back to the
for a criminal
Periscope
threat
days, huh?
out of Alhambra. And more
I
than
was holding
likely,
up the
they'll be able
phone
find
to the
the suspect
TV.
now,
There
but
was
it could take
no
some time.
tripods for phones back then.
That's the
No
thing, though,
selfie
Scott. This
sticks.
is not like a stolen car where they haven't identified the suspect. This started
My arms
as
would
a
get
very
so tired
specific,
filming those chases.
Criminal threat. And so the likelihood of officers
This is Alhambra
knowing
PD? Wow.
specifically who they're looking for will help them. It's not just
3
trying
Trevs
to find
asks,
a
is
random
downtown
person. If
LA
there's
or
Alhambra PD
LAX the
there,
better option if you want to
they'll
get
have
away?
suspect
Downtown
descriptions
LA
they
by
will have
far.
passed along to
All
everybody they're
LAX
looking
does
for.
is get rid of the
You would hope,
choppers.
But I just want to point out how dangerous the situation
And there's really
is.
only
It's
one
been
place at
elevated in
LAX
my
to dump the
mind.
car. It's in
They're
that
now
tunnel.
looking for someone who they
It's in that
believe is
tunnel that
armed,
connects
who's
Century
already
Boulevard
committed a
to,
criminal threat. He's in an underground
the
parking
terminals
lot
that-
is assuming,
like
I'm
the
assuming
delta
it's dark
of
and
the
there's
roundabout.
various cars that this person can hide behind or columns. So this is dangerous for whoever
Downtown
might
LA,
be
you could go
living
into
in
parking
this building
decks, you
on
can go
Glendale,
down
but
one-way
also for
streets. It's hard for the
law enforcement
police to stay
officers who are
attached
trying
on the
to prevent
ground.
this.
The choppers are busy trying to navigate the towers. Downtown LA for sure. And of course, there's always the Long Beach LA Fitness.
If
Yes.
they believe that he's still in the parking structure, if we believe he's underneath the parking structure there. But in most cases, when you go into a parking structure, you can get out of the parking structure up into the apartment building. There's stairwells in which you can do that. So
Clintonian says, same here, graduated college 7 years ago. When studying in Chase came on, I wasn't getting anything done for an hour. Yeah, I hear you. This is the worst type of material to avoid procrastinating when it comes to studying. You're just looking for reasons to be distracted.
A suspect who is armed. They believe there was a gun in the car. We don't know why they said that. And what
I would not recommend Denny's bathroom, for sure. That was the Troy Jenkins method.
Did go down into the underground parking. A lot of times, these underground parkings, the gates are shut.
Disneyland's a
And it looks
decent
like that
spot,
gate is
but
closed as well, but maybe it opened up
it's
for
a lot more
suspect
open
to
down
drive
here.
by.
It's so congested in downtown.
We saw a car come out. So there was a car coming out. So,
So-
the gate might have opened up when the car was coming out.
Oh?
But you make a good point, but it's about the trying to secure the area. But if you look, Scott, with those people on the sidewalk, again, they haven't been able to secure it yet because they would probably have all of those people getting away from the building if they were able to completely secure it. So they're still just trying to figure out what they're looking at. If this person is armed, where in the building they are, and kind of start to get all of the bystanders out. But now you've got officers coming out.
And hopefully, some of the people who are living in this building, hearing the commotion.
Officers
wait,
are.
That looks like it's over. This looks like
Yeah.
it's over.
Tells us that more than likely they have the suspect.
Does it?
All
The
right.
posture there is pretty relaxed, so it wouldn't surprise me if in a moment or two we have the suspect walked out of that underground parking. So we'll see here in a minute. But an apartment like this, I don't think you can get out. I think you secure the front, and then pretty much these apartment buildings are walled off, and you can't really get in and out any other way.
There's got to be an emergency
They secured the front. They're going to be
fire
good.
exit in the
But
back
the
somewhere,
posture of
doesn't
the
there?
officers makes me think this is probably over, and they'll be walking the suspect out of that underground parking here in a moment. But just speculation, but it appears that may be the case.
I do wonder, again, back to the folks living in this building, not hearing the commotion and the helicopters. Hopefully they know to stay inside, lock their doors, close their windows. Someone who is desperate and possibly
All right,
armed
people.
will do anything.
Well, but one of the things too,
think,
with
let's
what
see.
Scott was saying with the demeanor of these officers, it does make you think that there was a real possibility this person got into that garage and then had nowhere to go. Because they were fairly quickly on the scene at that garage, and if the person couldn't get into the building, if there was a door that needed a key or a code, they might have been stuck in that garage. And once the officers, because when the officers went in, Scott, they went in guns drawn, formation. They were very specific. When they came out, they had holstered their weapons and were just walking out, which lends you to believe that they know where the person is and probably caught him or her very quickly.
Yeah, I think that would be my assessment as well. I mean, they certainly had a
All right,
posture
yeah,
in which they weren't
they
concerned about
got him.
anything.
I just
They were,
looked it up.
just talking to the guys and
We don't
sort of
need to watch
debriefing, if you
them,
will. More units.
We don't need to watch them stand around. I just looked up They did end up getting him inside the garage, so we won't be able to see it. Not missing much. All right, my friends, I do need to depart and prepare for my Bleacher Report show, so I'm going to do that now. But if there's any chases, you know the drill by now. Top left corner of your screen, some 4s in the chat, please. At Skywob Alerts on Twitter for the next 4 hours if there's a chase, because of course CBC, Chases Breed Chases. That you'll need to follow at Skywob Alerts for the notifications, as Twitch will not permit me to send them, but follow the account, turn on your noties, birdsintheair.com for some merchandise. Hope to have some new stuff in there soon. Other than that, I'll put the VOD up as well. And whoever the anonymous YouTube angel is, I'm sure we'll have this up on YouTube as well. But until then, I will see you guys on the timeline. CBC, my friends. Chases breed chases. Got games tonight, too. I'll be live on SiriusXM with the post-game show for round 2. So, God, 3 hours of fucking radio today. This chase, Bleacher Report show, games, post-game show for 2 hours. And then we get to do it all again tomorrow. Voila. Can't wait until the summer. Adios. See you on the timeline.